Hello, my name is Jennifer and welcome to another Sims 4 news video. This is about EA dropping the Sims 4 Legacy Edition. Per a tweet from the Sims Direct that they said starting December 12th, 2022, the Sims 4 Legacy Edition will no longer be available on PC and Mac. Of course, this does not affect console players. Players can choose to upgrade to the standard edition as long as the device meets the minimum requirements, and save files are also transferable, and they have more information on the EA help site on the Sims 4 Legacy Edition, which we will go over now. Some of the information on the EA help site is in the tweet, but they also then go on to say what is the Sims 4 Legacy Edition. So it is a free edition of the Sims 4 and the Sims 4 Deluxe version for players on unsupported systems who already own the full version of the game. Of course, this is not to be confused with the fact that the base game itself is now free as of October 18th. This is something that preceded that. So again, as of December 12th, 2022, the Legacy Edition will no longer be available. So why is this happening? Just sort of some history. This happened back in November 2019, right when Discovery University came out, where the Sims 4 was no longer supported on non-Metal Mac OS machines or PC, i.e. Windows 32-bit operating systems. Before now, players could download the Sims 4 Legacy Edition and they would be able to play on those operating systems with some limitations. Those limitations were things like you didn't have access to the gallery and you were no longer getting any game updates and you couldn't add any DLC from Discovery University onwards into your game. You could at that time still go back and get older DLC and add it to your game. Now, they're saying goodbye to Legacy Edition, so that option of playing with some limitations is no longer going to be available. So one thing I found interesting is that for Windows specifically, that 32-bit operating system, the EA app, which is only currently for Windows, it doesn't affect Mac players, it only supports 64-bit operating systems too. And we do know from Origin that they're saying that by the end of this year, i.e. 2022, Origin is no longer going to be supported and you're going to need to move to the EA app. And I kind of wonder if that means that this is the date for the EA app. Of course, this is just speculation on my part. Nothing has been said yet by EA that that is the case. However, I kind of hope my speculation is not correct because I don't really think the EA app is ready to be the only version on Windows because there's still quite a few problems for some people. It's like just the recent kits that came out, people couldn't download them on the EA app. And one of the workarounds was to go over to Origin and it worked over there. So that does not bode well for me, for EA app being the only device that's available. Not to mention the Sims 3 players and players of older versions of the games that can't get their content on the EA app right now. They are working on it, but they just don't seem to move very quickly. I can't see them having it ready by that date. But anyways, that's just me speculating. So moving on, they do go on to say how to keep playing The Sims 4. And they start with Mac players, and they have here about make sure you're using a Metal Mac OS version, Mac OS 10.11 El Capitan or above. That said, there was a tweet by Bluebell Flora that said, please ignore the current Mac requirements at EA have posted in their announcement. The current version of the game also requires a Metal compatible GPU, not just Metal supported OS. So just so that you know that. And she then has an updated version of what you need, the how to keep playing The Sims 4. Metal compatible graphics card chip also required. 2012 and later Mac support Metal. Earlier Mac Pro models can be upgraded. So essentially there's the details about what you need. And I'll be sharing links to everything, this tweet, the EA help site, and the Sims Direct tweet so you can see it more closely. Now, what they do say is that you need to have, you can upgrade your operating system or install and run it on a different device that has that appropriate operating system for Mac. Or the other thing that you can do in all these cases is if you're a Mac player, if you have access to a 64-bit Windows system, you can play there and vice versa because the game is transferable between Mac and Windows. So moving on to Windows 32-bit, if you want to keep playing, you need to either update your operating system to 64-bit on your current device or install and running on a different device that has either 64-bit Windows operating system or, again, like I said, for the Mac. And if you're actually a 64-bit Windows player, you need to use the game in the 64-bit manner and not play the Legacy Edition. I know some people do play the Legacy Edition even though they have 64-bit Windows, because their computer is still a weaker version and the Legacy Edition has played better for them. One way you might want to do in that case is perhaps disable some of the packs to make it play better, and obviously, try lowering your graphics if you haven't already done so. Now, I will link to a guide from Krinrik which tells you how to disable packs if you need more information on that. Now, the last thing is about transferring your save files. Yes, you can transfer your save files. It tells you essentially there's a folder under Documents, Electronic Arts called the Sims 4 Legacy Edition. If you're going to put that on a new computer, you're going to put it in the same spot, but then you're going to rename it to the Sims 4. And if you are able to actually update your system to the appropriate system, you would just update the title to be The Sims 4, and that's how you get it. You can have legacy saves can get put forward onto the full edition. You can't go the other way. Not that that's really relevant, just making that sort of point. But anyways, let me know whether or not this is going to impact you. Are you currently playing on the Legacy Edition, or are you fine? Just as a point, if you're not sure, another way to know is if you're actually on Windows 11, that is 64-bit, so you won't be playing or shouldn't be playing the Legacy Edition anyways. But I'd love to know in a comment down below. But that's going to be it for this video. Likes and comments are always appreciated and they really help with the algorithms. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!